Hello everyone, my name is George Gintilas, body psychotherapist, and in this little video I'd like to present to you my Virus Buster. It's something that I've been using for myself for the last 30 plus years, as long as I've been practicing, longer. It's a technique that I do for myself whenever I feel the beginning of a virus coming into my system, beginning of a flu that I may have picked up from somebody, or a little cold, sniffle, a little bit of swelling, a little that headachy, fluey type of headache you get. Just the beginnings of it. As soon as I get the beginnings of that, or a little cough that isn't just a tickle in your throat, it isn't just your normal cough clear in your throat. It's something that's in there that you feel like, oh, okay, this could be the beginning of a virus, or sniffles, like I mentioned. Should that happen, this is what I do. And I've done it every time, works beautifully, and works better and better as time goes on. I'll describe that as we go along as well. Got a few notes here, which I'll refer to. But this is a great technique, and if there's enough interest, I may quite possibly even record a guided Virus Buster process that you can run for yourself until you get it down pat just for yourself as well, to be able to do it by yourself. So, again, like I said, I've taught this in meditation classes over the years and with private clients, mainly because it's a good mindfulness process and because it works, but because it covers the two major things for healing viruses. One, to know that you actually can use your mind and your awareness and your presence to strengthen your immune system to kill off a virus. And two, to get yourself into that state that allows you to be able to do that. I mean, just talking to you now probably won't work unless you've just been meditating. So highly recommend, if you don't meditate, to download an app or get some little practice where you can close your eyes each day, 5-10 minutes minimum, and just go in and settle your body. And we know from research now that if you're relaxed, if you're less anxious, your immune system just functions a lot better, a lot stronger. The more anxious you are, the more traumatized you are in your body, the less your immune system is able to function. And so you're more prone to getting illnesses, sicknesses, viruses, flus, etc. Now, I've been using this technique, like I said, for well over 30 years, to the point where I've never had a flu shot. I mean, I had one recently because of COVID-19 at the time of recording here. Mum's in a nursing home. In order to visit her, that was one of the conditions, and that's my first flu shot in 40 years, but I really haven't needed it. I've only gotten the flu once in the last 40 years when I was totally run down. I think it was something like 20 years ago or whatever, but rarely get it because of this technique I'm about to share with you now. Very powerful. And the degree of how well it's going to work will depend how well you're able to access your body, switch your mind off, focus your awareness on what I'm about to suggest, and also how much is in the way, how much stress is in your body, old traumas that you've been able to heal. I'm continually healing, releasing all the time in my body, so the technique gets more and more effective to the point where I can do it within a minute now. Should I feel the beginning of any little virus. If I leave it too long, if you leave the virus too long and it builds in your body, then obviously it's a little harder, takes a little longer. You may have to take a day off, who knows, from work. But using this technique, again, from my experience, will speed up the process, cut down the number of days where you're out of work or feeling crappy. And it's very highly recommended because within you, you have the power to direct your mind and your body and your immune system to function much better than it does normally just by itself. And we can describe why that is, but just know that it is. You definitely have that ability, and just knowing that alone, it should be enough reason to close your eyes each day for 5-10 minutes minimum to just de-stress your body, clear old stuff out, and when necessary, focus in and blast away these viruses. Now, obviously, they're coming in all the time. Your immune system's working 24/7 to kill them off, and it works better when you're more relaxed, as I said. So meditating alone, even if you don't use this Virus Buster, will improve your immune system, guaranteed anyway. But adding this extra focus on a particular virus will just bolster it tenfold and even 20-fold. It's just amazing from my experience what can happen when you really, it's like a laser beam. Your focus, you instruct your immune system, you instruct the processes in your body to literally focus on this blasted virus that's entered your system, that doesn't care about you, wants to take you over and spread and knock you out and in the worst cases kill you. It's not a nice thing. You can't play nice with it. You can't tell it, please leave my body. It doesn't play nice. It's there to invade. All it cares about is itself, and you've really got to kill it off. And there's really no other option, no other way to get rid of clients over the years. Have said, oh, can't we be nice to it and just mold it a little bit and just take it away slowly? Well, if you can do that, that's great. But in my experience, no. It is a full-on thing that just cares about itself, has no regard for your body whatsoever. And like we know with viruses and COVID-19, it will kill you if you let it go for too long and don't bolster your immune system to kill it off before it spreads too far. So what do you do? I'll be referring to some notes here and to make sure I cover all the bits I want you to know. So initially, first thing is 5-10 minutes meditation. Close your eyes, learn to do that. If you're already able to do that, you've passed step one. And the next one is once you're in there 5-10 minutes, you're fairly blank, not too many thoughts in the way, and you can fairly feel into your belly and begin to sense your body and not be off on other programs in your head. Then we can move on to allowing your body to show you where the virus is and what it looks like in your body. And give yourself a couple of minutes for that. Just tell yourself, body, show me in my visual image up here in my screen, visual screen, what this virus looks like. Show it to me. And just wait. Don't sit there creating it. It's not going to help. That if you're too much in your thinking, which is why the meditation part's important, to switch off the thinking so you're not sitting there trying to create it with your thinking mind. That's not going to help. Then it's just a fantasy. And fantasies aren't going to do anything. I mean, you might create a good story around it, but it's not going to change anything. You want to be in touch with your body, connected with your body from the mind-body connection. We don't want that mind-body split, which is why we meditate, to ground, feel into your body first. Unless that's in place, then what I'm about getting your body to show you the virus is not going to work, because you're just going to create it. Your intellect's going to try and do it for you, and that's not where the answer is. So I'm assuming you'll be able to relax. You're able to have done that. Let the thoughts go. Now you say, body, show me what this virus looks like, and just wait, and wait a couple of minutes if you have to. Keep relaxing, keep focusing back on your body, sensations, feelings, movements, twitches, etc. And at some point, if you allow your body to free form, give it time, it'll show you a picture of what this virus looks like. And most of the time it isn't pretty. I know with me, I get little devils and little gremlins and little things that are just, and it's like a shock. I think, oh my God, is that what it looks like? That is shocking. And that's what you want. I mean, it doesn't have to be shocking. I mean, it may not be. It may have just spread throughout your body. You'll get some visual, like doing a dream state, when your body's having to deal with emotions or issues from the day, when you get dreams. This is a very similar thing. It's metaphoric, and you're allowing your body to show you metaphorically what this virus looks like. And it's normally a pretty nasty looking devilish gremlin. It could be a blobby thing. It could really look horrible. It'll be slashing and burning and just wanting to knock you off. And normally when I've confronted all these viruses over the years, which is what I say, all I get from it is it just wants to knock me off. It's just not interested in me whatsoever. It's not interested in communicating, not interested in mediation. It's not interested in coming to an agreement or something. Like you have good viruses in your body and good bacteria that have settled in and they've got a job to do, and they're not taking you over, and they're in your gut, a lot of them. They're the good ones. But these particular ones, like COVID-19 and flu viruses, colds, not good ones. They're not interested in you whatsoever. They want to knock you off. And so the only option is to kill them. So how do you kill them? You pick your favorite weapon. My one is the flamethrower. And then imagine your immune system, how your immune system would look. And again, allow your body to show you a metaphoric image of your immune system soldier that's there to kill the virus. And I'll get a little man, like a little army person, and he's all geared up with his flamethrower, and it could be a big one, small one, and on the back you've got the oxygen tanks for this flamethrower, and when you need more, turn it up and just fire off. It's great. I love science fiction films, so I recommend watch a science fiction film or two. You can have laser guns, you can have you can even use bows and arrows, you can whatever. But for my favorite ones is a flamethrower, and I just get them to fire it at this image of the virus and watch what happens. And don't sit there pretending to try and make it happen. Just see what happens. If I take the flame that's coming out of this, my immune system, switch it on, fire it off, what happens? And just watch in your mind's eye what happens to this. Let's call it a gremlin. It's just a nasty little creepy thing. It just wants to rip you apart and is snarling at you and wants to kill you. What does it do? And if it just sits there and the flames bounce off, then you know your immune system's not getting through. So what have you got to do? You've got to turn it up, turn the heat up, so the flame goes from yellow to maybe blue and more focused, like a welding gun sort of thing. You can even hear the sound in your mind. And really see it. And just even get flashes of this visual, of this powerful, strong. You turn it up, turn the oxygen, get more power through it, till it's just a piercing through and burning this. Let's call it a gremlin, a little devilish-looking, creepy thing, to a crisp. And if you're able to do that, and you watch it burn to a crisp, and you can have other little parts of your immune system come along to vacuum away the ash of what's left of this gremlin. And then once you're able to feel like, oh yeah, that work, I can feel it. In fact, your body may even jolt. You may even get this big jolt or a twitch. That happens to me sometimes when I get the finally get that click where I've killed it off. And I can feel my body's got it. Yep, that's it. That worked. My whole body feels it. And I go, great. Then I instruct that one immune system. With that, I'm going to instruct all the rest of the white blood cells in my body, all the rest of my immune system to do the exact same thing. And then I watch in the distance as their little immune system runs off, or little soldiers run off, and with their little fiery guns, and I can see in the distance little fireworks going off as they're killing off wherever this virus is in the rest of my body. So you get one up close. Once you've got the one, send off that message to all the rest, radio them, whatever, Wi-Fi them, send the signal off. They'll get it straight away. And I'll just watch a million soldiers go off in the distance. And when I'm seeing, just like you see in war movies, in the distance, things are just blasting in the distance because the flamethrowers are going off. And just killing off the rest of the virus. When that happens, I think, yep, great, fine. I get out of the meditation, then off I go about my normal business and don't have to think about it again. I may go in, check in again that night or the next day, do it again, check in how we're going, bring up the virus again. If it's looking ragged, I know it's working, blast it again. Maybe it mutates a little bit, maybe you've got to adjust the gun. Adjust the strength, the fire, add something to the fire. You can add acid to it. You could add little bombs to it. You can add a laser beam to it that blasts it as well. Sonic boom, whatever you want, that just blasts it even more if it's mutated or if it's hidden. If it's hidden, sometimes you've got to send your immune system underground, under cells, under your organs, behind muscle tissue. Inside your lungs especially, and throughout here, just get them to go wherever this virus is trying to hide from you. And again, see in the distance, flames just going off, and then behind the soldier, another part coming by and vacuuming off the ash and then throwing it away. Very powerful to do that. If you can do that and really get it, your body will jolt and you'll feel it. And then what normally often happens, or the way you really know it's happening, is that night what will happen for me is I'll go to bed and I will burn. That night I will just burn. This is before I've even been sick, right? This is just the beginnings of the virus. I'll burn. And I know, yep, it's working, and burn, because the immune system has just got that instruction and they're really going for it now. And then in the morning I'll wake up and it's gone. It hasn't even developed any further. Can't even feel that it was there. I've literally cleared it overnight, sort of thing. If you leave it too long and it's developed and it's starting to wear you out and the headaches are coming and then you're coughing and you're sniffling and then you're getting the breath problems or whatever, hopefully you haven't left it that long. But should you have left it that long, doesn't matter. You can still use the technique. You're just going to have to do it more often. You're not going to have as much energy initially because the immune system, the virus is already spread and attacking your immune system's getting overloaded. They're trying to kill it off, but it still works. Get that flamethrower, up the charge even more. And if the weaponry still isn't that strong, then the key is to breathe more. Just sit there, take more breaths, take more than 5-10 minutes to deepen into yourself. Know that it is possible. Don't give up, even though you may already be weakened. Keep breathing, and the key is add more oxygen to your system. And this is the keys. Depending how much traumas or how blocked you are in your body, when you breathe in, how much oxygen is actually uptake, how much uptake has your cells got, and your immune system takes of that oxygen, which energizes it to fuel the flamethrower or any other weapon of your choice that kills that virus to a crisp. So you may have to breathe a lot more, take a lot more deeper breaths, and take time, rest a little more, and at some point try again, and at some point you'll get it. Yeah, it may just flicker a little bit, and at some point, if you keep at it, that flamethrower will kick off again, fire off again, and then you'll burn again that night or during the day. You'll want to rest, and the next day, don't be surprised if that virus is almost gone or takes just one more day, and you've completely eradicated it out of your body. Very powerful. Not making this up. Works for a lot of people that I've helped teach over the years. Definitely works for me. But the key is to keep healing yourself, keep working on yourself, keep releasing past traumas. And as you do that, then each time you breathe, more oxygen comes in. Your immune system just charges up a lot quicker, to the point where I can just take a breath now and then, whoosh, like the immune system just goes ballistic, kills off the virus very quick. And then sometimes the burning is just very brief. That's really bright, burn in my body. That's the end of that, and the virus is gone. To the point where I've not had a flu injection for 40 years. In fact, I just had one last week, only because of law here in Australia, in order to visit my mum, who's down in lockdown mode with COVID-19. To visit her, one of the conditions was you have to have had the flu vaccine, even though I haven't needed it in 40 years. And so I went and got it, and a little bit of a bruised arm for a day or two. No big deal at all. But before that, I've only had the flu once in 40 years since I've been using this technique, and very, very powerful. Highly recommend it. A couple of other variations to this. What happens if the flame doesn't work? Occasionally I'll get a virus, and every virus that comes into your body is actually different. You'll get a different type of image. The other one I had the other day, of one that came in, was of like a leech thing that just attached itself to, and it looks horrible. You think, oh, what's it doing to my cells there? And the flamethrower didn't work, so I had to find another type of technique, change the weapons, which is why it's good to learn about weapons through sci-fi movies are the best, action movies. What technique is going to work? Another good one is a bow and arrow that has a warhead on the arrow point, so when you shoot it, if the flame can't penetrate the armor of the virus and it's just sitting there laughing at you, had that a few times, think, wow, the flame's just not even touching it. It's like the virus has got this shield of thick steel in front of it. of, well, we get something else that'll penetrate that. And you keep trying different weapons, and often what works is a bow and arrow that has that tip, warhead tip. The arrow goes through, the metal arrow breaks through the armor. Once it's broken through, then it explodes, and then it just shatters the virus to bits, and then you vacuum it up, and then again instruct the rest of your immune system in the distance throughout your body. That's what we're going to do. That's what we've got to do with this virus, and each one will be different. But the flamethrower I've found works in the majority of cases. Other times you may have to throw acid on it. What other options are there? The traditional guns, grenades. You can throw grenades that go into them. If you like sci-fi movies, Star Trek, you can have grenades if they're not penetrating through. If you throw them and just bounce off the virus, you can teleport them, like you do in Star Trek. Dematerialize them. They materialize in the virus, and then boom, and the virus has got no hope. Then that's a good one. if you've got that image in your mind as something that is real and that can actually work. The key is, can you feel it real, that it's working? And just watch different weapons. Something's going to work. You could have a conveyor belt where you send them off. You can handcuff them. You can do anything, whatever. You can wrap them up in tape. Whatever's going to work. Cage them and throw them into liquid hot metal or into a furnace. And then cut them off to the waste disposal system of your body. Whatever works, not pretty, they're not going to look good. It'll be a shock when you see them. You should get a feeling of, oh, that's yucky. And then you know, oh, okay, there it is, I've got it, because you can feel it. You're not just making it up fantasy. Oh, your body's really showing you, this is, metaphorically, this is what this thing is doing to your body. And then straight away, rattle through all the weapons. If you're younger and play video games, when you're rattling through what weapon to choose, similar thing. What's going to work? Pick the weapon that works. Sometimes you have to create a brand new weapon because the virus, and it could be, I imagine this is what's going to happen with COVID-19. You're going to need a brand new weapon that's never worked, that you've never used before. And it's going to look different. It's going to have different buttons on it, but when you press it, it'll do something that will just literally shatter this virus to a crisp, to a million bits. And once you feel like, oh yeah, that worked, instruct the rest of your immune system to do it, and then just sit there for another 5 minutes, let it happen. So you could be sitting there, the war's going on as you let it happen. Not pretty, killing it off, and then you'll probably burn that night in bed, and then the next day, again, if you get really good at it, the next day it'll be like it was never there. Where in normal cases, you'll go into this 2 weeks of out of work and get full-on flu symptoms. You've got to be in bed for weeks and coughing, sniffing, and all that stuff. I have to think back hard when I last had that. Doesn't happen often, or if it does, it'll be just for one brief day. Once I get in there enough, blow it off, and your immune system will do the rest. Also good to view images on YouTube that we've seen under the microscope of what a white blood cell actually does. Sorry, a white immune system. Actually, it's a white blood cell, sorry. White blood cell does, which is your immune system to kill off viruses. And it's fascinating to watch. There's some great videos if you look up. I may even post one here, where you just watch the little white blood cell just come along to the virus, and it just slowly just swallows it up, till and you can see through the white blood cell, it just literally disbands it, which is similar to frying it to a crisp or blasting it to smithereens, just breaking it all up till it doesn't exist, and it's just going around, swallowing up all the bits that can't exist. And it's not being nice, it's just getting rid of it. You have to get rid of it. There's no place for it. You've got the good viruses, you've got the good bacteria, but COVID-19, these are the bad ones, and they require total destruction. The immune system and white blood cells are designed for that. By you focusing your energy on the immune system doing that job even better and getting the right technique, because some of your immune systems at the moment with COVID-19, poor immune system probably doesn't know how to deal with it, which is why it's highly recommend every day that you take time in your meditation when you go in there 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes or whatever. 20 minutes is probably the best. Check out in your body, is there a virus? Is there a virus here that shouldn't be here? And should COVID-19 get into your body, your body will show you the image of it. You'll get, wow, what the hell is this? Immune system doesn't know what to do with it. Spend time creating a brand new weapon and blast the thing. Melt it, blast it, whatever. Disintegrate it in some way. Pull it apart. There'll be some way. And if you can't, then go watch some science fiction films on creative ways to blast things to get rid of them, basically. What else? That probably covers most of it. And of course, this is in addition to doing the normal things of taking garlic, taking ginger. Highly recommend putting lemon in water, and lukewarm water, taking manuka honey, olive leaf extract, all the standard stuff you might get from naturopath or doctor, or flu shots if you want to get flu shots. My favourite's wild oregano, especially with COVID-19. If you look up the little capsules of the oil of wild oregano, brilliant for curing and getting rid of pneumonia symptoms. I mean, I can't say here that it actually cures it, but I know for me, any time I've felt the beginnings of any type of pneumonia in my lungs, or that bit of liquid or bit of water in my lungs, a couple of oregano tablets, gone. It's this powerful stuff. Highly recommend it. Look it up. Not all of them are the same. If you want another brand I use, please let me know. I'll direct you there. I take one of those tablets every day. So garlic as much as I can, especially in winter. Ginger's great. Honey's great, as I mentioned. Lemon definitely every day in a glass of water. That just bolsters your immune system, cleans you out even quicker. And then add the focusing technique, and you get it early, you can blast away any virus that tries to enter your system. It's worked for me so far. I don't see how COVID-19 will be much different. I just have to create probably a new weapon. I haven't sensed it in my body at any time yet. Other ones have come and gone, but very powerful technique. Highly recommended. Works a treat. Again, it'll depend how well it works, is how much you can clear your mind, not think, and how much you can breathe, how much energy you can breathe. Take deep breaths so you're powering your immune system and calming down, powering the immune system with oxygen, strong oxygen. If you're traumatized or blocked, you won't get as much oxygen as you probably could. I know that from my experience over the years. The more I've healed my traumas and passed and released things, the more each time I take a breath, even now as I'm taking a breath, I'm buzzing all over. And that oxygen is really, the uptake is high, and the immune system just goes ballistic. And so very quick, kills off. And you just watch in your mind's eye what your body does. So that's about it. Feel free to ask any questions at any time. Happy to answer them. And like I said earlier, that I might actually get some time at some point to actually do a guided visualization of this practice as well, the technique. You can close your eyes, follow through with me, and do it a few times so you can do it yourself, and hopefully kill off any virus, including COVID-19, that may enter your system. And please check every day when you're going to meditation, are there any viruses that need eliminating? The other thing I didn't mention too is that when you are blasting the virus, just know in your mind's eye that when you do blast, you're not going to damage your good tissue or the good cells or bones or muscles or veins, and all the good tissue in your body doesn't get. Just have it in your mind's eye that no matter where you blast, the only place that flame or your weapon is going to kill anything is the virus that just doesn't need to be there. That's the only thing that's going to get damaged. Everything else in your body is just immune because it's your own system wanting to kill off something that shouldn't be there. That's where it'll go, and that's all that'll happen, and nothing else gets damaged whatsoever. Just know that's worked for me really well over the years, and it can certainly work for you as well. And practice it till you get it right, and can feel the difference, and you'll be amazed. And like I said, feel free to ask questions at any time. I think we've pretty well covered everything. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Have fun with it. See you again.